Let's listen for more author's craft. By the time I pulled the old lawnmower from the garage, Mama was already in the garden, picking plump, ripe tomatoes for our lunch. Every Saturday, I pulled the starter rope again and again while the mower spluttered and spit. Finally, that old mower started, and I struggled to push it through the dew-wet grass, leaving row after row of fresh stripes on the lawn. From time to time, the mower choked on mouthfuls of wet grass that clung to the blades in my bare legs. But by early afternoon, the dew pearls were gone, and the grass was mowed and dried, and I was soaked with sweat. Every Saturday, I pushed the mower back into the garage, trudged to the back porch, and flopped onto that old glider. Creak, crack, creak, crack. On this page, I hope you notice that repetition of every Saturday again. And I'd also like to point out personification. Personification is a device that we can use when we make something that is not human have human characteristics. So if you notice, the part where it says the mower choked on mouthfuls of wet grass, that just means that the blades of grass were getting stuck in the blades, because a mower doesn't actually have a mouth that it uses to chew the grass, and it can't actually choke the way a human would if we had too much food in our mouths. So that's an example of personification. I also heard some more onomatopoeia on this page, and I love the adjectives I hear. The dew pearls, the grass was mowed and dry, but he was soaked with sweat. The fresh stripes on the lawn. I love those vivid verbs. He doesn't just say the mower engine was running, but he says the mower sputtered and spit. To me, that creates an image that the mower is not new. It's kind of an old mower that probably sounds a little rough when it's running. And finally, those verbs in the last sentence. He trudges to the back porch. That's a signal that he's tired. He's worked really hard mowing the grass. And then he flops on the glider. He doesn't just sit, he flops. And that creates an image in my mind of how tired the boy is after he mows the grass. Mama soon appeared with a tall glass of sweet iced tea. You cool off and rest a spell. I'm going to make us a bite to eat. Before long, she came back with 2 big tomato sandwiches. Every Saturday, I gobbled mine down like a hungry dog, but she nibbled at hers like a bird. Now them's some good tomatoes, she said. I know how you like a good tomato sandwich. Don't they just taste a whole heap better when you just picked them? We sat there a while, listening to the calls of the blue jays and the rhythm of that old glider. Then Mama looked at me sort of sideways and said, I reckon I know a boy who'd like something sweet to eat. And I grinned. Yes, ma'am, I reckon you do. So some of the devices for author's craft that I see on this page. We have similes. He gobbles his down like a hungry dog, meaning he eats his really fast. She nibbled on hers like a bird. So he said he's describing her eating, that she's eating very slow and taking small little bites. We have some transition words on this page. It says, before long, she came back. And there's a new device on this page called sensory details. Sensory details are when you describe what something sounded like or tasted like or felt like. You're describing those things that relate to your five senses. And so on this page, there's the sense of sound. They're listening to the blue jays kind of talking to each other, and they're listening to that glider. And there's also the dialogue where grandma and the boy are talking to each other. I'm going to pause and read another couple pages on the next slide.